Good evening and welcome to the studio this evening. Both myself and Junior here, who has decided to visit this evening. And he's now, as you can see, watching proceedings. How long he stays, I don't know. But I am guessing that as soon as I've got some rings out, he's going to jump off and scatter them all over the place. But we shall see. So, I'm having a change tonight. I'm also going to turn that down slightly. It's a little bit louder than I want it to be. If I can turn it down that much, carefully, that'll do. Right. So, I'm going to make up a couple of these. That's off focus slightly, isn't it? Let me get camera control up. That's still a bit loud. Will that respond to the mouse? It will, but not that much. There we go, maybe that'll do. Let's look at the focus on this. That's better. Well, there. Unfortunately, Junior isn't quite as in focus as he was, but that's too bad. You can still see him. Oh, that's clever. Okay. That's media player crashing. Let's see if it comes back up again. Right. We're now in focus. We have some sound which isn't too loud, hopefully. So, I want to get some rings out. 130. Yes, Junior. Now, I think I've got 130. We shall see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just to prove I can count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Let's get a lot out. So let's say 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we need another 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40. 43. Need some more. 44, 45, 6 3 7, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 60, 61, 62, 63. How would you guess that? Exactly 100 I got out. And I've got Junior looking up at me here as though it's kind of like, wow, you can count? Yes, I can count, Junior. Right. So, do I want to open all of these? He says, thinking about it. Some of these I can close, which will make it faster to weave. So I'm just thinking that that would be 2 there, so 2, 4. Yes, there's 130. So 2/3 of them want to be open, 1/3 wants to be closed. Which, since that doesn't divide exactly by 3. I'm guessing I don't need 130. Yeah. But that's an odd number, and they're in 2s. 2, 4. 2, 4, 4, 6, 8, 10. 4 out of 10 want doing. So that's 4 times 13 want closing. That's 52. So there's 130 there, there's 30 there, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. Okay. They want closing, they want opening. Opening ones are easy. Hello Clarybug, hello, good evening. Yes, we've got Junior visiting this evening. He was wet through. He's not quite as wet now as he was. And of course, being wet through, he not only walked over my keyboard, he walked all over me. Change glasses. You see, I haven't been streaming for so long, I'm forgetting to change glasses, which I wasn't particularly remembering anyway, but I'm even worse off now. So how are you this evening? Right. So this is going to be I was going to say a fairly simple. Byzantine is relatively simple. It's going to be a stretchy bracelet. So I've actually not got all the rings out just yet. But being stretchy complicates things a little bit. Because you can't open or close stretchy rings. Oh, well done. Any pictures? Jump rings and ribbon, and you. Why shouldn't you feel proud? It's addictive fun. Is jumping jewellery. Where all this sort of stuff just weaves together and you get some amazing patterns out of it. Okay. Yeah, clasps. Clasps are weird things. I've been thinking about trying some stainless steel clasps because, put it quite bluntly, sterling silver is expensive. And but the reason I use sterling silver is because people like Lady Zara wear silver plate off in literally in hours. In a couple of hours, a silver plated clasp turns copper, which is the underlying metal it's plated on. She completely eats it. Doing this isn't the easiest thing with a pussycat on your knee. Anybody that's watching and wondering, I'm opening these jump rings. They're partially open, but they're not open enough to actually weave with. So what I'm doing is using this ring on my finger, which substitutes for another pair of pliers, and opening the jump rings a little bit further. Well, these are, yeah, pure aluminium. Generally called bright aluminium rather than anodized. The anodized actually looks, the silver anodized actually looks more silver-like, but I've never yet seen any aluminium clasps. I suspect the metal is probably a little bit too soft for it. And one of the actual problems with sterling silver is it does tarnish, even when you're wearing it. So it goes dark, and that's one thing that's one thing stainless steel shouldn't do. So. Because I had thought about making some jewellery using bright aluminium, but I've kind of decided not to, because if you put bright aluminium next to actual sterling silver, it looks grey. Maybe Geocraft, good evening, welcome, thank you very much for the follow. You seen someone? No, I haven't. Well, I do keep an eye out, but I haven't actually seen any. It's a little warm in the studio tonight. Mind you, when you've got a radiator set on your knee as well. And thank you very much for the hosting, Clary. Claire, that's kind of you. I may have to put a headband on. So whilst I've been away, I haven't been completely away from it. I don't know if you've noticed a slight addition to the oh, of course I've reversed my camera, so I've got to do that which is really awkward to work out. A slight addition there, you might have noticed. Exilian, good evening, welcome. Sort of. I been extremely busy at work, working really long hours, and just not wanted to do any. Well, apart from the fact that the long hours included when I was streaming, I haven't wanted to particularly stream when I've finished. I'm not particularly wanting to do any art at all, and well, for a little while at least, next week and possibly after Christmas, because I am off over Christmas. The streams may be a little bit intermittent, as time allows. Unless, of course, you want to go out and find me sort of 10,000 followers who watch every stream, and then I can give up working and stream full time. How are you, Exilian, anyway? Good evening. I haven't finished the line, which I was doing. Did I do some last night? Yeah, I did a little bit last night, but I just felt like doing a change, to be honest. So this is going to be a stretchy bracelet. Which actually, for some reason, quite why it reminded me, I'm not sure. But I've still got that Zelda box, Claire, if you still want it. Thought you might have done, but kind of so would I, to be honest. If you don't, it's alright, it's not a problem. Okay. Well, don't forget, postage roundabout now is somewhat interesting time-wise. What with this, you know, this Christmas stuff, whatever that is, you know, causing a problem. Yes, sorry, Junior, but the other one that sat there, so you'll have to put up with stuff touching your ears. That's what he's flicking his head at, is because my hand keeps pushing his ear slightly, and it makes him think there's like an insect or something crawling on his hair, on his ear, so he flicks them. Ah dear. Can't even pick up rings without dropping them at the moment. So provided I counted correctly, should be all the open rings. The ones I've got to the right, which you can just see, I now need to close. And for that I need another pair of pliers. Where's my other pliers? There they are. Oh dear. Why, me dear player, why? It just crashed again. That's the second time tonight it's crashed. Let's see if it stays up this time. So that's still focused. Yeah, it is. So I'll just close these, 52 of them. Oh blimey, it's going to be one of those nights, is it? Yeah, probably. When I can't close a ring for trying. I'm out of practice. I can usually, or I used to be able to close these first go. At the moment it's taking a few attempts. I did. Yeah, it's wasn't too bad. Ultimate Team. I'd certainly listen to it again. I don't think it's copyright free though, by the way. It was an interesting arrangement. I think that's turned the volume up. Oh well. It certainly wasn't a track I'd immediately turn off. I'm not sure it'd make a Christmas #1. They tend to go for slightly more upbeat renditions. Okay, take a look in just a moment. Let me just do this ring. Oh, I see how you've done that. Go that way, Junior. There we go. Yep, that's a nice way of doing it. That's a very good bracelet there, quick to make as well. Did I miss one? I didn't scroll down, so Oh, I see what you mean by permanently installed at the moment. Well, this with them being jumper rings, you can always twist one off. That's and get it off, so it's not too bad. How does the shop work? Which one? The one on Etsy? No, there's no free shipping on there. If you want free shipping, if you take a look at the eBay link, there's 3 bracelets on there at the moment. They have free standard shipping. Okay. Where would it be? Where would it be to Ultimate Tiber? I can't recall. Netherlands. Europe's not too bad for shipping. I mean, being totally honest with you, you do kind of realise that there is no such thing as free shipping as such. If you get free shipping, it's being bundled in with the price of the item anyway. So it kind of swings and roundabouts. How much is international shipping? I can't remember what I've got it set for on. Let's have a look. That. That wasn't what I was looking for, but anyway, we'll go from there. That was what I was looking for. If you want to drop me a Twitch message, Ultimate Tiber, about what you might want, I'll take a look and see what I can do. The standard shipping price isn't too far out for international from the UK, but I'll take a look. and I'll get back to you. Mighty Giddy, hi, welcome, good evening. Oh dear, I am really out of practice. When you're doing this with the pliers, you can sort of see the point at which the two rings match up with each other, and therefore you know that you've got them closed properly. But it's a relatively subtle difference. You know what? It's too loud for me anyway at the moment. This particular track, which one is this? Let's have a look. It's called Contamination. It's just royalty-free music from Purple Planet Music. Used with attribution, which is why you'll see it on the front page of on the stream page on Twitch. You'll actually see them listed down the bottom. There's about 15 tracks. 15? No, actually, it must be more than that. How many is there? I can't remember how many I've got of theirs, and they're, generally speaking, there's enough to last about 2 hours before they start repeating. But they provide sort of generally, most of the time, it provides like just a general background sort of noise. I won't say noise. Noise sounds bad, doesn't it? Sound, you know, so it's not quiet in the background. What is my technique? I'm not quite sure I understand the question, Mighty Giddy. This is the technique is actually called chainmail. So the technique of chainmail is interlinking rings together. Although a lot of people think of chainmail as being armour, it isn't. The armour is made using chainmail techniques. In armour terms, though, they were usually iron rings, and they were riveted together. These are just held together just by the shape of the rings themselves. And what I'm doing here is closing up the gap in the ring. The way in which the rings are made causes them to have a slight gap. I'm closing that gap up on these rings I'm doing here because it's easier to do them one at a time here than when I'm weaving the rings. And the bracelet I'm going to make I can do it a little bit faster if I close these rings first. That howling, if you heard it, was Felix. Was taken to doing that just recently for no apparent reason. So now you've got music called Crystal Waters. I might change the music out shortly. I've got some more which I'm going to be using for the YouTube videos, which I may play for a while, just to have something different. How old is Felix? You know, I don't actually know. I'd have asked Lady Zara, but she's gone out of the room. No, I don't actually know. I was just trying to think when we got him. He's actually a rescue cat. So he came from a cattery, not as a kitten, but as a young cat. And he's older than Junior is. How old is Felix? 12. There you go. Oh, 12 and a half. There you go. And Junior's younger than that. He's about 8. Yeah. Something like about 8 years. Although if you sort of looked at him, Junior looks like the sort of a big chunky sort of cat, so he kind of looks like a more adult cat than Felix does. Is 6 inches enough to go around a wrist? That's quite small, Ultimate Tiber. Generally speaking, adult women would be 7.5 inches, something like that. Fellas tend to go up to about 8.5, depending. You can always take something like a piece of string or a tape around the wrist to measure, but then you've got to remember to add on a little bit, because of course the tape or string goes right against your wrist, whereas a bracelet, of course, you would measure it in theory slap bang down the middle, and so the chunkier the bracelet, if you take something like this one for example, if you were measuring the circumference of this, you'd actually sort of measure it down the center, and so if your wrist was sort of 7 inches, say, this is probably about 6.5 on the inside and 7.5 on the outside. The 7's down the middle, so this one, for example, would be a bit tight on you, and being that this one is quite a strong stretchy bracelet, for example, that's not one that you want to have tight. Yeah, it could well be something like that, Claire. There is a lot going on at the moment for various reasons, and there's a lot of stuff stored in boxes around the house at the moment, more than for various reasons, and that's probably disturbed him a little bit. He's just after a bit more attention. Now then, I want some stretchy rings out. So how many do I want of those? 26. Okay. Red or yellow? Red. So 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Just bear with me a moment, guys. Lady Zara just wants me for a second. Just a little computer support there. Right, now then. Yes. Now we start weaving rings. And because I'm using these are neoprene, but they're stretchy. So neoprene, sort of like rubber, but not quite. Just don't go in swimming pools with them. Neoprene rings don't like the chlorine. So, but these obviously don't open and close. So you've got to, when you're weaving with stretchy rings, you've got to be mindful of the fact that you can't open and close them. So you've got to get everything. You've got to know just the right time to put them into the sequence. And for byzantine, not all weaves you can make stretchy. Byzantine is one that you can, because there's more than one place you can actually put it, but they tend to look best as the interlinking rings. So let me just get this in place here, and I'll show you on a completed one where that is. Ah dear, sometimes it can be fiddly. Tell you what, whilst I just let my frustration go down a little bit. So there's a couple of places for interlinking rings where I've put them here, which is between a sort of a block of byzantine, but there's a fixed ring in the middle there. You can also do that using stretchy rings as well, which sort of makes it a little bit stronger and stretches a little bit more. But it's quite an awkward place to get stretchy rings in, is that because of the way the bracelet goes together. It's a heck of a lot easier with these being solid and the alternate ones being stretchy. Now then, let me try again with this to you always with these anodized aluminium rings, you're always trying to hold them firm enough but not too firm that you actually damage the rings. They're quite resilient to things like scratches, and these particular pliers that I'm using don't have any serrations inside, but you still have to sort of take care with them. So what I'm going to be doing here is making up. I'm not actually going to weave rings as such to start with. What I'm just going to do is make blocks of small lengths of chain, and then when I've made sufficient of them, what I'll then do is interlink and weave them together in one go. which is different to how you'd probably make this as a solid bracelet. If you're making it as a solid bracelet, you kind of start at one end and just keep going. But doing it with stretchy rings, that's quite an awkward way of doing it. You end up having to sort of try pushing rings, these neoprene rings, through small gaps and opening rings that you've closed, and generally just sort of messing around, trying to do it from end to end. So it's a lot simpler to do it as I'm going to do here, and that is just make a block of 10 rings. What I will do once I've made enough is then form these into the byzantine pattern like that, which is the byzantine pattern, and then use a metal ring to join this to another block in that gap there. And it's a lot easier to do that with the metal rings than it is to try and do it with the neoprene rings. So a different way of making it. Oh dear, not only can I not close rings really well tonight, it looks like I can't even keep hold of them. Oh dear. There we are. That's better. As you start doing this, and you'll probably find the same thing, Claire, as you start doing ring-based jewellery, is you find techniques or ways of doing things that make things slightly easier. So like one of the things I just did there is just try putting that ring through in a different way, so from a different side. You have everybody has a tendency to sort of, depending on whether left-handed or right-handed, to weave rings in a certain way. Like you tend to start, take a ring, start at this side and weave back to front, so to speak. Sometimes it's better actually to reverse that and weave the other way, just because of the way in which the rings are. You've opened the rings. If you open them in the opposite direction, then the opposite applies. But I've got a curved ring I'm trying to go around a corner with, and the bottom, that edge there, the end I'm trying to put through is on the bottom, and it's better if I can wind it that way than trying to wind it against the curve of these particular, because these are in sort of a curved shape. If I do it that way, I go through in one go without messing about, which I've just discovered. So I have a new technique. Despite having a new technique, that doesn't help if you start dropping them. Yeah. Okay, got that threaded through a ring it shouldn't have been. That's another block. So we just keep doing this. Until I run out of neoprene rings. And then once I've done that, then I can start and put them together. I should run out of these at the same time I run out of the closed blue rings. If I don't, it means I've miscounted somewhere. There we go. No, I don't want another one of those on that. You can use the neoprene rings as part of the byzantine shape itself. That's perfectly workable, but I did try that and it doesn't actually look as good. Or certainly not in these colours anyway. Can I see that ring? No, I can't. It'll be down there somewhere, but we'll pick it up later. Well, there we go. And I'll think, what's the expression in the UK? All fingers and thumbs tonight. And that's another ring. Okay, I'm going to be too short, so I will have to get some more out, but that's not a problem. That's another block. Actually, not too many to go now. Okay, that one's not closed properly because I can see, I was going to say daylight through it, but I can see light through it now then. No, that's okay. I just slipped off that ring there with the pliers, so just checking it, make sure I haven't scratched the ring at all, which I haven't. Right. Yes, I know, PC, thank you very much. It's trying to tell me that one of my computers hasn't been backed up recently. It's probably on account of the fact that it's turned off. But it's trying to be helpful. Okay, one of those isn't closed properly, it's that one. And sometimes what happens with these is that the metal has kind of like a memory. So when you bend it out of place, it has a tendency to gradually relax back into the place it was in, and that happens with these rings as well. And sometimes, and it's part of sort of quality control, but you can see like a flash of silver as you're just manipulating them, and that's just a ring which is slipped back into its, or towards its original position. So they just need tweaking a little bit, and then generally speaking they'll stay in position. One of the things you do in doing this is you actually push the two ends of the ring together slightly. That does two things. It closes up the gap that is in the rings. But what it also does is it creates, well, obviously with the two ends pushing against each other, there's friction which stops them sliding against each other, and sliding slightly apart as they would do otherwise. Nope, that's not right. That is. That ring there. There we go. Just needed a little bit of tweaking. Right, another 2 blocks, and then we can weave all the blocks together to form a bracelet. Right, so that's all the blocks. Now what we do is form them into the Byzantine pattern and join them together. Now this gets a little bit awkward. Yep, we've got them both. Now, it's not the only way of doing this, but it is perhaps one of the simplest ways of doing it. And this will go relatively fast because we've got most of the bracelet already put together, and this is just joining up sections. Missed it. Hello, Junior. Junior is sat just at the end of the desk on the computer. He's just decided to sit up from being laid there and pop his head above, see what's going on. You can get metal probes, like I'm using here a cocktail stick to help me open the rings and place them where I want them. You can actually get metal probes that you can do that with. Generally speaking, I think they're meant for things like beadwork, but they do get use for this. One of the advantages though of the cocktail stick is that it can't scratch the rings, whereas a metal probe could in certain circumstances. Plus, if I happen to lose the cocktail stick, they're cheap to replace. and from time to time, just like the rings, they do tend to go walkabout. Synchro XXT, good evening, welcome, hello. I don't think I've seen you in the channel before. What I'm doing here is just assembling a bracelet, a stretchy bracelet. So this one has no clasp, because it has the neoprene rubber rings, which allows you to put it on without needing a clasp. I made each of these blocks earlier on in the stream, so now it's just a case of putting them all together. I also don't think I can count. I'm just looking at the number of rings I've got left, and I think I've got more than I need. I got a set of rings out earlier and prepared them all by opening and closing them, and I thought I needed 130 for this particular bracelet. It looks like I was wrong. Either that or I just totally can't count and I got more than 130 out, but right, just 2 blocks to put together, and then we can join the bracelet up into a whole section. Creams, hello, good evening, welcome. Not seen you. I was about to say I've not seen you around for a while, but there again, having not been around for a while myself, that's kind of understandable. How are you doing? Yeah, I about 3 weeks ago now, or perhaps slightly more than that, work got extremely critical, and I was working long hours, which included when I was would have been streaming, and even when it didn't, I was kind of just too tired and not wanting to do any art or jewellery or anything, so I didn't stream during that period. Work is still critical at the moment, but I'm finding a little bit more time now, so there are intermittent streams at the moment. Next week I'm off. I'm not at work next week, so I may have a bit more time next week to be able to do some streaming. Right, now then, we join the two ends of this together to form a completed bracelet, and I totally can't, obviously totally can't count the number of rings. Right, this end. Now let's see if I can get this right. I'm just trying to do now is get this to go together so that I don't put a twist in it. Is that way, like that. I think. Yep, that looks right. You've got all your sewing stuff back. Did it go somewhere? I can't. Oh, didn't you leave it? No, I'm confused. I think I've got a feeling that you'd left it somewhere, and so you've got it back. But and you've lost £5 as well. Well done. Congratulations. Okay, now that's almost done. What I'm just going to do now is just go look, take a careful look around it, look for any rings that are out of place or any that aren't, that have sort of slipped a little bit and opened up slightly. That one there. If I can get hold of the things. There we go. Just as you're twisting the rings to join them, to close them up, sometimes, as I say, they've got like a memory. They go back towards the position they've been in for a long period of time. So even when you've closed them, they just slightly relax, and what happens is you can just see a slight sliver of silver, which is from the edge. Oh, well, in storage. Okay. Then it kind of makes sense. So now that you've got it all back, Creams, are you making something with it? One of the difficult things is of doing this, I'm doing this with a white light, and the rings are shiny, so you get like little white dots, which is a reflection of the light, but that's also what the edges of the rings look like if they're not quite joined properly, and so sometimes it's a little difficult to tell. Whether it's a reflection or a ring that's slightly out of place. And that sounds like Felix is busy knocking things off over there, Lady Zara. Okay, I think that's done. All things bizarre. I'll take a look. Oh, purple miniature dragons. That's alright, Creams. I happen to have Etsy up there. Given that I've got a... I must reverse the camera. Given that I've got a shop myself. Luna RRI. Assuming you're talking about me rather than Creams' stuff, thank you. So that's... a stretchy bracelet, 7.5 inches, although being stretchy it will stretch a little bit. I think I'm between 8 and 8.5, so it sort of goes on me. It's not particularly tight, although it is stretched slightly on me, but it does go on. Luna RRI, thank you very much for the follow. So that's a red one to go with a yellow one that I've got another yellow one to make at some point, maybe tomorrow, but not tonight. So actually, I've got to put this on Etsy. The yellow one's already there, but the red one needs to go on as well. No. Only this one actually will go on to. The other place. My brain has gone to sleep tonight. What am I trying to say? I am trying to say eBay. This one will go on to eBay. Yes, I'll have to show Lady Zara the purple dragon cream. She collects purple dragons. All of which come from Imagination in Florida in Disney World. Yeah, Disney World, I think. There used to be a ride there called Imagination, which had a purple dragon. Oh, Figment. That's right. Figment of the Imagination. You have something to do with imagination. So. Although I'd have thought pink creepers. There's red creepers, isn't there now in the Nether, but pink? I don't know. Felix is being a little annoying. He's climbing over everything, and he's climbing over everything by pushing it out of the way. Right, well, I think having just finished that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a night tonight. That's taken me a lot longer than it should normally have done. I have been all fingers and thumbs tonight, dropping things, and stretchy rings are always a a little bit awkward to work with anyway, because you can't you've got to weave things in certain ways, because obviously you can't open and close a stretchy ring. It's there, it's permanent, it's fixed, so you have to do things in certain sequences that make things a little bit awkward to do and slow things down. But for some reason I've just been dropping rings and all sorts tonight. In fact, I've got a couple to find on the floor. So I am going to say thank you to everybody that has been watching this evening. I am going to point out the shop on the left hand side. I'm going to have to reverse the camera. Etsy shop there. Take a look, everybody. Some of the pictures you've been seeing down at that bottom right hand corner there are actually jewellery that's available on the shop. So some very nice pieces, or I think they're very nice pieces, but I would, because I put them there. So I'd encourage anybody to take a look. In the meantime, thank you all. Hopefully I will be on again tomorrow. Not sure. We'll just see how it goes. If I am, it'll be from about 8 PM UK time. If you follow me, you'll get the notification from Twitter when I go live. Twitch when you go live. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll also get a notification from Twitter. And hopefully I'll be on tomorrow night. I'll probably make the yellow version of this, I think, tomorrow night, and then see how it goes. See if I'm as clumsy tomorrow as I am today. Thank you all. I've had fun. Hope to see you again in the future. And bye for now.